Yo Joes, how's everyone doing out there? Hope everyone is doing well. I'm well, thank you. I wonder if there's anything new in the world of GI Joe. So as most Joe fans saw this morning, the rumors of the 6-inch GI Joe line have pretty much been confirmed by the leaked images that showed up. They showed up in my Twitter feed, courtesy of Full Force Podcast, so salute to you. Full Force, thank you for those. And the figure looks spectacular. It is the line that so many Joe fans have been hoping and begging and praying and clamoring for so long. And the figure itself, I think, lives up to all the hype. It looks fantastic. It's got an ab crunch, so you'll be able to do certain ninja sword thrust poses or creeping poses, especially important for a character like Snake Eyes, who's a ninja / commando. He comes with his black sword from the 85 figure. He's in his 85 outfit. I don't see Timber in there, but I'm thinking we'll probably see a later release where he'll come with Timber. This is a special convention exclusive figure, I assume. So it's possible that his packaging is going to be different than the 6-inch figures that'll be released publicly. The packaging, the box, is subdued. It's just black and white or silver and black. Snake Eyes is color scheme, so I think it's good that it goes with his particular color scheme. Personally, for the 6-inch line, I was hoping, because we're always talking about how important packaging is too. That classic GI Joe packaging was very, very important. I don't know if it was as important as the figures themselves, but I think it definitely helped in establishing the characters. So I was crossing my fingers for the actual classic artwork. I was hoping Carson over at 3D Joe's was helping them track down the actual original artwork to use on the boxes with the exploding background. So we might still see that for the wide release line, but for this particular line, it's very subdued. That's okay though, because the figure, I think this is going to be one you're going to want to open it up and display it, use all the different accessories and the posability of it. Also pictured is what looks to me like what they do with Hot Toys when the accessories are stored in foam so that they don't rattle around and that they don't get damaged. That's extra care for making sure that accessories don't get damaged. So we see some Sai, a whole bunch of ninja weapons, lots of stuff looks to be coming with this particular Snake Eyes figure. The figure is in a box, which I think will come in a bigger box. And then Full Force also posted more pictures courtesy of Paige Wagner 4 on Twitter, as well as Plastic Battles on Twitter. And Plastic Battles had the picture of the figure outside of the box, and it looks spectacular. He's got the little details that I was really hoping would carry over from the original figure. They can do whatever they want with this new line. They can come up with something completely brand new like they did in the live action movies, or they can do something that's still new but harkens back to the old figures, kind of like what GI Joe Resolute did. But this figure looks like the 85 Snake Eyes, with the exception of the boots. I guess he's not really wearing the footwear of the 85 figure, but he's got the double belts, he's got the grenade bandolier going across, pockets on his wrapping around his biceps, I guess, or his elbows, and then the Uzi or the submachine gun comes with a silencer on it, which is fantastic. This is what's great about this scale. We get a little bit more detail and intricacy of accessories than the 3 3/4 inch or 4-inch line allowed for. And we start to get closer towards the 12-inch figure scale, where the details on those figures are just insane. You can pull clips out of pistols, you can slide the hammer back on pistols. There's all sorts of crazy detail. So this isn't quite at that scale, quite at that level, but still it's so much better than what we've known for 30 plus years. And another thing I was really looking forward to is interchangeable parts. So it does look like he's going to come, like with most 6-inch figures, changeable hands. So he'll have his weapon gripping hands, and it looks like he'll also have some other hands. One of the hands looks like Maybe he's giving some sort of military signal, or it's a karate chop, a Kirk chop. And then the other hand, is it a trigger finger? It's hard for me to make out the details of the pictures, but the figure itself just looks spectacular. I've seen so many great customs over the years, people taking maybe a Legends Spider-Man figure as the base, coloring it black and using it for Snake Eyes. And it's just amazing to finally see an actual official Snake Eyes that will hopefully be widely available. The convention exclusive won't be, as they never are, but I would rest assured everyone else who can't get the convention exclusive at the convention, or you can't afford it later on eBay or other aftermarket sellers, they're going to be releasing this thing, maybe not with the exact same accessories. I would imagine that the sword rack, I guess it's a sword rack or a weapons rack that comes with them, that's probably not going to be re-released. That'll probably be the special convention exclusive item that comes with this figure. But the figure itself is what I want. The weapons rack is nice, but I don't really care. I'm not going to pay an exorbitant amount of money just to get a weapons rack. I want the figure, and it's going to be available for sure, and might even be better in a way. Definitely different than this one. If I had my choice between Timber and a weapons rack, I'm going with Timber, and probably a lot of Joe fans will too. And another nice little detail is he does have the Arashikage symbol on his belt buckle. And in other Joe news, Hasbro has announced a new honcho for GI Joe. The global marketing lead for GI Joe is, I'm going to try to pronounce this, I've never heard it spoken out loud before, Roni Neumann. And the really interesting thing about this particular recruitment is that she is a former lieutenant in the Israeli military. So she has military experience. Most Joe fans, when they think of the positives that can come from having actual military experience, service, and working on the GI Joe brand, most Joe fans will immediately think of Larry Hama and his work on the GI Joe comic and how much he brought to it. And then for the cartoon, in the later years, they brought in Buzz Dixon, who also served, and it didn't change too much from season 1 to season 2 under Buzz, but I definitely noticed more of a shift towards that kind of military posturing and attitude when Buzz started to contribute to the stories. So I'm very excited. I think GI Joe doesn't necessarily have to be a brand for military people, but I think it's important for it to be by military people. Definitely the core, the heart, the spirit of GI Joe is military, and it seems to me all the times throughout history when they've tried to deviate from that and go into a more science fiction route or anything else, dinosaurs, who knows, that has always not really worked for me. But when they get back to camo, when they get back to saluting, when they get back to that core military aspect of GI Joe, that always feels right to me. That's what I fell in love with in the first place, and that's what keeps bringing me back. So I think that's really cool that they have a real live lieutenant running GI Joe now. So that's your GI Joe news. Let everybody know how excited you are in the comments below. Thanks a lot for watching, and until next time, Yo Joe!